Hi everyone, my name is Septia Nurmala from the Faculty of Pharmacy, Universitas Indonesia. This time, I'd like to present my research entitled Metformin Inhibition on IGF-1R mTOR A6K1 pathway in pancreatic cancer cells under hyperglycemic condition. So this is the outline of my talk. So first of all, before getting into the background part, I'd like to read some of the terminologies used in this presentation, considering the diverse range of expertise from the panelists. So IGF-1R or insulin-like growth factor receptor 1 receptor is a receptor for IGF-1 that can enhance cell growth. It may be overexpressed in the presence of excess ligand. In this context, it is insulin-like growth factor where it's abundant in type 2 diabetes mellitus patients. And the second one is AMPK or adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase. It is activated when there is an increase of AMP compared to ATP. It responds by promoting catabolic pathway to generate more ATP. And then the next, there is protein kinase B, that is a serine-threonine specific kinase that regulates glucose metabolism. And then FOXO1 or forkhead box1 is a transcription factors controlling cell cycle, survival, and metabolism. And then there's also mTOR, that is mammalian target of rapamycin 1. It's a regulatory protein for cell growth and proliferation, while A6K1 or ribosomal A6 kinase 1 is a member of serine-threonine kinase family that drives cell cycle progression. So 80% of pancreatic cancer cell patients are diagnosed with either new onset type 2 diabetes mellitus or impaired glucose tolerance. Metformin, a first-line anti-diabetic drug, has been in trial for cancer treatment. A few studies suggested that the anti-cancer effect of metformin is through its effect on AMPK activation that further suppresses the growth of the cancer cells. In this context, pancreatic cancer cells. In treating type 2 diabetes mellitus, metformin works by inhibiting the mitochondrial respiratory complex 1, MRC1, while simultaneously activates AMPK, a central sensor and regulator of metabolism. Through this action of AMPK, further signaling suggests that insulin receptor substrate, or IRS, in IGF-1R receptor gets phosphorylated, leading to a decreased activation of AKT, mTOR, and A6K1. What this image shows here is the mechanism under normal glucose condition, but how about under hyperglycemia condition? This question brings us to the objective of this research, that is to demonstrate the potency of metformin on cell growth inhibition in pancreatic cancer cells under hyperglycemic condition. The signals to represent cell growth inhibition that was measured on this research is IGF-1R, mTOR, and A6K1 signaling pathway. We're also going to elucidate the apoptotic effect of metformin through FOXO1. Next, we get into the general worksheet. So the first part of this experiment is measuring cell proliferation under various glucose concentration. The cell used to represent a pancreatic cancer cell line in vitro is PNC1. First, the cell was cultured in standard DMEM medium for 48 hours, and the viability was measured using CCK8 assay. Next, the cell was cultured in various glucose concentration to measure the proliferation rate, where 0 millimolar represents no glucose condition, 5 millimolar normal glucose condition, and the rest represents the state of hyperglycemia. After that, the cell was treated with two metformin concentration, 5 and 15 millimolar, while maintaining control with 0 millimolar metformin. After 48 hours, the percentage of alive cells was measured again. Cells undergoing treatment with 5 millimolar metformin was used to measure the targeted gene expression level. After 48 hours of treatment, RNA was extracted and converted to cDNA. The amount of RNA was measured by quantitative reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction QRT-PCR. Relative mRNA was calculated using comparative cycle threshold method, delta-delta-CT. And next, here's the result of this experiment. As we can see from the graph, there's a significant growth inhibition in medium without glucose compared to normal glucose. We can also see that PNC1 cell thrives in high glucose concentration, where there's an increase in cell proliferation. A previous study suggested that glucose more than 17 millimolar is incompatible with human condition. That causes reduced cell proliferation in 20 and 25 millimolar. From this, we can conclude that the optimum glucose concentration for metformin treatment are 5, 10, and 15 millimolar. From the metformin treatment, turns out there's greater inhibition in response to metformin in a dose-dependent manner across the increase in glucose concentration, as seen from the red and green lines being lower than the blue line. and the tree lines getting lower as metformin concentration increases. We can also see that there's a significant inhibition in 5 millimolar metformin between 5 millimolar glucose and 15 millimolar glucose. This phenomenon is best explained through the Warburg effect. So Warburg effect is a condition where cancer cells favor glycolytic process to produce lactate rather than oxidative phosphorylation. This phenomenon occurred because lactate production contributes to faster generation of ATP needed for cancer cell to grow, and the acidic pH is used to support the tumor microenvironment in some tumor cells. While acidic environment is beneficial for some tumors, from the results we can conclude that PNC1 cells are not dependent on glycolytic pathway. Therefore, metformin treatment that causes total switch to Warburg effect causes lactate acidification that subsequently reduces cell viability. Next, we analyze the effect of metformin on the previously mentioned pathway. As we can see from the graph here, metformin effectively reduced the expression of IGF-1R, even though the pathway inhibition under hyperglycemic condition is less robust. That left us wondering, the previous result shows greater cell growth inhibition under hyperglycemia, but why did the gene expression has conflicting results? The possible explanation is that there are other pathways that contribute to cell growth inhibition. For example, the metabolic reprogramming that was previously discussed, and there is a pathway that compensates to the inhibitory effect of metformin under hyperglycemia that is outside of this scope. To further validate the results on cell growth inhibition, we analyze the apoptotic effect of metformin through FOXO1 activation, a gene responsible for the apoptosis process. Again, under hyperglycemia condition, metformin's ability to induce apoptosis is reduced. This can be explained through the dependence on post-translational modification that happens extensively on FOXO1. It is known that FOXO1 regulation occurs through multiple pathways, with two interesting regulatory mechanisms from AMPK and AKT. Turns out that AMPK-mediated phosphorylation drives nuclear localization of FOXO1 to the nucleus to exert its apoptotic effect, as we can see from the image on the left. But, as we can see from the right image, phosphorylation by AKT will instead prolong the cytoplasmic stay of FOXO1, leading to its degradation. To wrap up, here are the key takeaways. Metformin has multiple mechanisms in suppressing tumor growth. PNC1 cells show higher sensitivity to metformin in terms of lactate acidification, but less sensitivity inhibiting IGF-1R, mTOR, A6C1 pathway under hyperglycemia condition. And last, reduced cell growth in hyperglycemia condition is not the direct result of the apoptotic effect of metformin. In the meantime, the study has some limitations, so in the future, we can broaden the arena markers involved in pathways that have possible crosstalk in hyperglycemia condition, as well as measuring the protein level to validate the results of possible post-translational modification. This will bring us to comprehensive understanding of cancer cell hallmarks that can get us to target genetic regulatory modulation as a promising therapeutic approach for cancer treatment. And I guess that's all. Acknowledgements go to my PI, Rani Sauri Asari, PhD apotheker, for betting her grant money to support my growth personally as well as professionally, and also Professor Eiji Matsura, as well as my mentors, Tan Senpai and Kobayashi Sensei, Andisha Putri Sekar, Bachelor of Pharmacy Apothecary, and Afina Irshania Zulfa and Famila Takwifa. This project was supported by PDUPT grant from the Indonesia's Ministry of Research, Technology, and Higher Education. Thank you.